Welcome, everybody, to episode 208 of the Dumb Marks podcast, Bad Blood. We are the best wrestling podcast in the business. I'm your host today, the part-time wrestling fan, and a goddamn good-looking human being, Donald Gertner.
Donald Gertner.
What's going on?
Where's your neck brace?
Yeah, where's the neck brace? Where's the neck brace? Donald, I have an entire house to myself. I may or may not walk around ass naked, Gertner. That's more appropriate for the Gertner tagline, right?
They didn't need all that.
If you're gonna call back to the great Joel Gertner, you gotta
spice it up.
You gotta be spicy with it. You know, like some extra spicy top ramen. You gotta be spicy with it.
Fellas, how's it going?
It's good. We're here. It's a beautiful summer day in October here in the Berg. Today and tomorrow, 80 degrees. I can't turn off my air conditioning yet because it's too
hot.
Yeah. So, but no, hey, listen, fall will eventually get here. Potentially, maybe we'll just go from 80 degrees and then 6 inches of snow the next day because that's literally Pittsburgh weather.
Yes.
We have winter and summer. That's it. We have no in-between seasons anymore. They're gone.
In between a beater and hoodie.
It is
the house.
Bro, you wake up, cold under the covers, you get out, you get that little chill, and then by about like 9:30, you're sweating again. So
What is it? Sweats or shorts? It's like, damn, come on.
Yeah. So and that leads to the long sleeve shirt with the shorts dress code.
Yes.
And my wife hates that dress code. Hates it with a passion. So yeah, don't get me wrong. It'll poke the bear a little bit there. Pause. But yeah, it's a beautiful day outside. We got a lot to get into today. A lot to cover. Bad blood predictions, mushes, Mount Rushmore's games, and all the shits and giggles in between. So, my captain, where would you like to lead the ship starting out the gate?
So I have no intro topic today, but AEW was down in Pittsburgh this week on Wednesday for Dynamite, and Chris and Steve actually went. So the intro topic was going to be about their experience down there since the last time they went. How did everything go? Not about the matches or anything, but just about the experience in hand.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I'll speak for myself here because Chris isn't on the show today. He's off handling some business. So we'll see him back in action again next week. But me personally speaking, look, AEW. I said this the last time I went because I went, but not by myself, but I went with somebody else outside of the pod last time, and AEW Live in the Arena, one of the best shows you can go to, legitimately. As far as, action, the atmosphere, the energy, like you get caught up in it as you're watching through. So like the normal stuff that maybe plague it on TV as far as placement of segments and commercial breaks and all that other stuff, like that all goes away and you're literally just get swept up in the moment of being there live watching the show. So energy was through the roof. When me and Chris were driving down there, I said I'm gonna book the show tonight. He's like, okay. I said they're gonna start with Ospreay and Ricochet. They're gonna main event with Danielson and Okada. I said, we'll get Shelton Benjamin and Jay White. And lo and behold, TK, you're welcome. I booked the show for you Wednesday night. Literally everything I said came true. And that was 2.5 hours before Dynamite kicked off. So there he is from Palatial Estate down in Taekwon's neck of the woods.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent.
You know you're rich when you got the flat screen posted up on the vinyl outside. So, you don't got that up here in the hood. With no extension cord, like an actual electrical outlet behind it. There's no electrical cord.
Everything's hidden because I was trying to plug my laptop in. I was like, can't even get back there. Everything's plugged in.
That was planned.
Yeah.
That was planned.
That's how you're supposed to do it when you're actually setting it up.
Yeah.
Not the way we, duct tape and Jimmy Rig stuff.
Bring the Roku player out, everything.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Chris, I was just talking how I booked the show as we were on the drive down there Wednesday night, and explained who was all going to be there.
Every time something happened, I just looked over at him like, Chuck.
Oh, Barry Horowitz moments. It's a lot of daps for myself there, but yeah, like I said, Chris, you can chime in like with the way you felt, but initially I said it's just the energy live in the building for an AEW show. Like it doesn't have any of the other stuff that comes with it on TV, so you get caught up in the show. And I mean, I was entertained for the entire 2 hours. There was one segment that I didn't like, which we can dive into if we want. But other than that, like entertaining is all hell, and the history making moment, which I'll get into in a little bit. But
yeah, it was just for me 2 moments. It's like there was 2 filler segments. You had the TV time with Jericho, which wasn't announced ahead of time and wasn't needed. And then you had like the private party filler. It's like those 2. Other than that, yeah, everything else I really enjoyed. Thought it was a good show.
No,
And being there was so much better.
now you text us that the crowd is live there. We didn't get that on TV.
No.
Like the pop
TV.
we got the holy shit when they first started, and then when they did the little superhero backflip thing, you got the pop there.
They
Bro.
must mute stuff. Like
I mean, you can hear it rumbling in the back, but like it wasn't like
it seemed
you
dead.
saying it was like,
Yeah.
But Steve, did you tell them about the moment yet?
no, I didn't get into the moment yet.
I mean, that fits in with this. So.
Yeah, Jay, we'll circle back. We'll circle back around to that because definitely it ties in with the history making moment that Dub Marks podcast and myself had Wednesday night. But first, based on our experience, I want to throw a question to you and Donald because picking a seat at a sporting event is random unless you're a season ticket holder, right? If you're a season ticket holder, then you learn who's around you, you learn who comes in, you meet other people in the family that they may sell tickets to in a game here and there, right? But when you just randomly buy tickets, it's a roll of the dice as far as who you're sitting around, right?
Yes.
So
it's wrestling is always a roll of the dice. So
right.
And it always comes up craps.
So
But Jason makes friends with everybody.
Yeah. So we bought our tickets Tuesday, really good deal. Got after fees and everything, it was $30 a piece for the ticket. Right. We had a row, nobody in front of us, so mad leg room. There was a wall behind us, and then a walk-through section. So there was only like 3 people.
Seating.
Yeah, only 3 people sitting above us. So it was, as far as placement, angle was
Nice.
great, depth was great, perception was great, leg room was great. The seat next to me was open, so I moved over one, so we weren't sitting shoulder to shoulder the whole time. Like it was perfect in that
Perfect
regard.
setup.
However, the guy that was sitting behind us, okay. When you go to sporting events, you have certain fans, and I want to get your take before I describe him. As far as what's the worst type of fan you can sit by? Is it the fan that never sits down? Is it the fan that is just constantly talking about other things except for the game? Is it the fan that is yelling and bitching and moaning and complaining about the refs the whole game and the call? What is the worst fan?
Don't forget the drunk fan.
WrestleMania, New York,
The up and down. Yeah.
the bathroom fan. I don't care if you stand, if I can't see, if I got to get up. You're
The one
bothered.
that's constantly up and down. Yeah, we had that. Mhm.
Bad
It
Now,
was a lot.
now the ones who like scream at the ref and stuff. I mean, that's the one. I mean, that's on field stuff. So you're actually watching the product.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you're getting up to go buy merch like after every match because the new champ won and he need to get his T-shirt right then and there, You know what, man? You need slapped around a little bit. Like, dude, come on now.
All right, so the in and out of the aisle fan is the worst fan for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our experience Wednesday night with the worst fan is the fan that starts a chant but nobody ever joins in
All night.
night long.
But,
I
yeah,
mean, it was like
Sammy.
yeah, and nobody was chanting Sammy.
But
that's
you don't
satisfaction.
chant
That's satisfaction for me.
It was
Nobody's going for it.
no, but it made it worse because he was doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on the
on it.
chants. Like during Britt Baker's match, he was trying to get DMD started the entire match, and it's like, bro, like that. This is not the time for DMD. One, okay, like you got to pick your spots, know when the chant's necessary and required. Two, nobody is feeling you starting DMD right now, so let's hush it down, right? And then he started a CM Punk chant at one point. He started a Cody chant at one point when the Young Bucks were out there. Like he was just all over the board with the chants. Like, I'm just sitting there like, yo, this dude.
One of those guys.
And then start talking shit on the company at the end of the night. This is why this company's going to shit.
Yeah, but you want it to go.
When they came back out and taped Rampage afterwards, Young Bucks and Private Party in the 6-man with Shibata and Jack Perry. They're going through the match, and the Young Bucks hit whatever it was, a Meltzer driver or whatever, and he's like, "See, that's what happened. That's why this company's going. That's why this company's dying, and nobody's paying attention to it because you never put over talent, you never elevate anybody, you never do this, you never do that."
Squeeze,
kick out.
If you're listening, this was your guy.
Yeah, kick out. Private Party kicked out. And then Mark Quinn gets the roll up and a win. And I literally, like everything in my being wanted to turn around and say, see, if you just watch the story and let it play out.
It's long-term booking.
Armchair quarterback, that's all it was.
Yeah, that is Pittsburgh.
They won in Pittsburgh, so you got your
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite fans, just that I saw there, was the couple that came in dressed head to toe in Steelers gear.
I think that's in every stadium. There's a Steelers jersey in every stadium.
It was there was that couple, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, there was a couple that showed up an hour late, dressed head to toe in Burberry. And it sat like legitimate Burberry, not Burberry merch. Like I'm talking Burberry dress shirt, Burberry red trench coat, like head to toe, like your money, and
they were there for MJF.
Yeah, you come in an hour late, and then I think they left early. Actually,
yeah,
they're better than you.
It's like where we? Yeah.
And they know it. What the?
And to get their own entrances, like look at me.
Yeah. So to circle back around to your question, Jay, about the fan and the crowd, right? Ospreay Ricochet opened the show, which was the correct call to start the show, right? Crowd was insane as soon as they stood in the ring. They were insane, right? Ospreay's entrance,
awesome chant.
Yeah, Ospreay's entrance was loud and they were going hard. And the crowd kept it up all night, right? So I'm hopping on Twitter back and forth, looking at stuff and everything, and I kept seeing Bully Ray's tweets. Pittsburgh's always been a subdued crowd. They've never really been a loud crowd. They've only gotten loud when ECW came in. They only, just constantly bad-mouthing the Pittsburgh fans being live and not being into the show. And I kept looking at Chris. I'm like, it's loud as hell in here. Like, this crowd is hot right now.
I mean, I don't know if Donald, if you talked about it, but you texted me during the opening.
Mm-hmm. So like, and there was about 48,000. There's about 4,800 people there, right? 4,800. So the whole lower bowl of was filled. The peak was filled. So it kept going on and going on. So during the main event, I hop back on Twitter, and Bully on Wednesdays does the Busted Open After Dark show, right? Where he breaks down Dynamite and everything after Dynamite goes off the air. So I see a tweet from Bully. Hey, anybody in Pittsburgh that's there, call 867-344, blah, 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 blah. So I get on my phone and I dial the number. Boop, 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 boop. Phone rings. Producer answers the phone. So-and-so from Busted Open. What's your name? Where you calling from? I'm like, this is Steve in Pittsburgh from Dunmark's Podcast live at the arena. And he's like, you're where? I'm like, I'm in the arena right now. And he goes, you're actually there right now and you're calling in? I said, yeah. I saw Bully's tweets talking about the crowd and how nobody's live. I'm here in the arena. It is loud and live. Like, and he's like, dude, go enjoy the show. And I'm like, nah, I saw the tweets, bro. Like, he's like, all right, let me put you on hold. So he puts me on hold, and they go to a commercial break, and he comes back on. He goes, Bully's going to take you Bully's going to take your call when we come back from break. I said, okay. So they come back from break, and Bully's talking, and he goes, this is the first time ever in Busted Open history. This has never been done before. We have a caller from the arena live right now. And then he throws it to me, and I'm live on Busted Open in the arena as the main event's going on. So he's asking me about the crowd. I'm talking about the crowd. I'm holding my phone up so he can hear the crowd, this and that. And he's like, he goes, I've never had this happen before where somebody calls in live. And he goes, what do you see right now? What's going on as far as the match? Are they doing this and that? Because obviously there's a little bit of a delay between the TV feed and in the arena. Mm-hmm. And so I started doing play-by-play live on and Bully gets mad. He goes, listen, I'm the only one that does play-by-play on this show right now. I'm like, hey, Bully. And then a chant broke out. And I just said, Uncle Bully, listen to the crowd. And held the phone up. And then I bring it back down. And he goes, all right, Steve, we'll talk to you later. And hung up.
Look at you.
So, yeah. So I called in live, made history, Busted Open history on Wednesday night, calling in live from Dynamite as the show was going on to prove to Bully Ray and everybody else that was out there tweeting about the Pittsburgh crowd on Wednesday night. The crowd was live. The crowd was hot. The crowd was loud all night long.
Okay.
So I don't know why it didn't come across on TV, but yeah.
I don't know why they say Pittsburgh subdued because we've been places and it's been lit.
Yes.
Or we've been like the one you don't want to send a pay-per-view to. So I don't know how you.
Brian Danielson said it at the end of the night. Yeah. He goes, "You're the reason why they changed the WrestleMania main event." So. We did that here at the Rumble.
Yeah. I can't give credit to another show, Taquan. I got my show live on another show that's nationally syndicated during Wednesday Night Dynamite. So how about you suck on that for a little bit and then come back with another comment about the marketing platform that I just put out for us on Wednesday night. Gang off.
It's all about the promotion, bro.
So yeah, Wednesday night was a bunch of fun. History making moment. We got home a little after midnight. So Thursday was a rough morning, but yeah, it is what it is. Great time.
Wednesday was my Mount Rushmore show overall.
But I did tweet at Tony Khan because we were one of the first stops for Dynamite when the company launched 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. They brought the first ever Rampage show was here in Pittsburgh. Your 5-year anniversary show was here in Pittsburgh. You drew more in Pittsburgh than what you had been for Dynamites in the last several months. Give us a pay-per-view.
Yeah, they have like 20 a year.
I was thinking about this week because I would love to see it, and I think that would help draw in a little bit more of a crowd being a big event, instead of like what was just there for Dynamite. But Steve, I don't know if you've really noticed on Wednesday, but like there was when we've gone to Dynamites in the past, there's never really any pyro. I guess like the building doesn't allow it, but they didn't even do like the confetti stuff, like for the Young Bucks or like the Rainmaker money or anything like that. So like, I wonder if that would prohibit them from doing a pay-per-view if they can't have like that special effects stuff.
Honestly, I think the only thing that's preventing AEW from potentially doing a pay-per-view here is that they don't have a larger venue to go into. PPG Paints has a deal with the WWE. WWE comes there all the time. We know how WWE in cities blocks people from running certain buildings. Outside of the Pete, Pittsburgh itself doesn't have the venue, or outside of PPG, Pittsburgh itself doesn't have the venue for a pay-per-view.
I haven't been to what's Duquesne, Palumbo Center. I haven't been to Palumbo since that was renovated, so I don't know how much that would hold.
It's smaller than the Pete.
Smaller than the Pete. Yeah.
Total seats wise, it's smaller than the Pete. So like,
I mean, I think the Pete's good enough to hold a pay-per-view, but we have yet here in Pittsburgh, we have yet to sell out anything AEW. But I think, like I said prior, I think having a pay-per-view would entice more people to go to that because it's a special.
What do you consider a sellout though? Like they had 4,800 tickets available Wednesday night, and it was 4,700 plus sold. So like to me that's a sellout. Like
no, I mean like the building sellout, and because like even when the first Dynamite was here, it was close. It was very close to being sold out, but it wasn't a complete sellout for that one. Like that was even upper deck for the first Dynamite. But I think that if they would announce it, I think that would help draw people in, and even from the surrounding area. So it wouldn't necessarily just be relying on that. But I don't know if they did it for this one, because I think this was, well, in the first Dynamite that was here. Like they need to do some type of promotion for like the college kids if they didn't do that, to like kind of entice them to go, because they're right there.
That's one of the things, and that's a whole separate show. But their media street team getting out in these cities and doing the ground grunt work, which you still need to do as a company that's only 5 years old, to get people to come to the arena outside of your normal fans, is tremendously lackluster for a company of their size.
Did they do anything this time? Because I remember last time, like
so they had Britt Baker was on Tuesday. She was on 93.7 The Fan.
Yeah.
For a short segment on the FM side, and then she went over and did a segment on the AM side. But that was it. To me, that's not even AEW doing it. That's more people that work at the Fan reaching out to Britt and asking Britt if she's able to come on because of her local ties and everything. So
yeah, and she has connections for sure still here.
Because last time she was even on the morning show on TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so you really got to go back to your grassroots and put on your old school promoter bag and actually have people out doing stuff.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, hire somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
ECW, the talent used to do it. Have one of the talents take the ball and run with it.
Yeah. Between that and there's some other changes that they can make, but it is what it is. Like they have their formula, and it doesn't appear that they plan on changing it. I mean, they just signed a new TV rights deal that's upwards of $185 million a year. And there's been some rumors about who owns stake in the company. Warner Brothers supposedly owns stake in the company. There was a rumor and a tweet that I saw this morning that says Meltzer sent an email to a third party that shouldn't have been sent out, and it looks like Meltzer owns 3% of AEW. So if Mark owns 3% of AEW, I may not watch AEW again.
That's your
next week we'll both be in the same boat then.
I mean, it was a really rough week for Meltzer. Like when he tweeted out Wednesday about the NXT ratings and NXT getting an 895, but it was the debut episode and more people tune in for a debut episode, and it's a new network, so You may want to look back at ratings after the show settles down 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks later. And then Dynamite's ratings come out Wednesday, and they did 690 or somewhere around there. And he's like, Dynamite, 690, but there was, this go.
WNBA finals, or
And it's like, all right, so
we know.
we know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
We know what flag you're waving, so just stop talking. That's it.
but apparently there was a huge drop off with the extra long overrun, and a lot of people left and didn't even see the finish to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
So was the half hour overrun nice because it was, a special occasion and everything else? Did we get more time with Danielson and Okada? Yeah. Did it hurt the product more from a rating standpoint? Yeah. It did, because they lost a lot of people as that
I can see
overrun
for
ran.
DVR, that might not recording for that overrun, but if you're watching it, you're just going to turn the match off because it's 10 o'clock.
A lot of people did.
or
A lot
bedtime.
did.
Bedtime. Well, it sounds like you guys had fun down there. All right, so let's jump into today's show. Let's start with Mount Rushmore. So, Chris, you already said Dynamite was your Mount Rushmore and that you enjoyed everything about it. Anything you else had to comment on about it?
No, I think we covered enough on Dynamite Wednesday.
All right, Jason.
My 1B is Lola Vice. Actually got the kid to sit and watch wrestling. So
Smart
Monday,
kid.
yeah. So Monday he comes up. He's like, "You want to come downstairs and hang with me?" And I'm like, "Wrestling's on. Can we watch wrestling?" And he disappeared. He just backed out the room. And I was watching TV, so I'm like, "Huh? You want to watch Gav?" And he just disappeared like a thief in the night. So Tuesday he came up. He's like, "Okay, I'll sit down and watch with you." And it was a Lola Vice show. And he was like, "Oh, she could dance." He was into it. I'm like, "Okay, if this will get you to watch wrestling, I'm here for it."
Wait till he sees Mina Shirakawa's.
But I'll put Roxanne and Julia on there just for the potential they have. The match was good, but I think if they get like a chemistry going down, they can be lights out.
Are you upset with the way they booked Julia?
No,
and bringing Cora back?
No. I wasn't expecting her to pick to win anyway, but I'm just glad he did it that way to protect her.
I was expecting the title change, to be honest with you.
I knew Trick was going to win. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. We'll get into that. The only thing I didn't like about the Roxanne and Julia fight was that the ref took too long to turn around. He was just there pulling at the belt, like, come on, dude, you lift, don't you? You just yank that belt out of her hand, like, come on. You're all screaming and action outside and all that. Yeah, all new titles.
Yeah, your thoughts on the new titles?
Listen, I love the way Sean debuted him. He just said, "Here's the new belts," ripped it off, and we ring the bell. Like,
you didn't get to look in. You didn't even get nothing.
No, I don't mind it. Like, they look good. I like the way both of them look.
It gets out of the 2.0 era.
Yeah, you're out of the 2.0 era. You got the new logo, the new look, new feel, new network. So yeah, was I expecting new belts? No. Am I glad that I got them? Yeah.
Talk on, very true.
I would have been happy if they just removed the color out of the two belts. But
I got used to that.
Yeah, just to get it out of the 2.0 era, I would have been happy if they would have reverted back. But
I don't like that incandescent. I did.
Look, you can take Chris out the hood, but you can't take the hood away from Chris. He's still in the area with sirens. They're going to Taekwon's house for the raid.
They're going to deliver the merch.
Yeah.
And it's Scott Steiner coming. Steve, your Rushmore?
Well, I mean, we already put over Wednesday night, so like an obvious choice would have been Ricochet and Ospreay. The ending kind of took that out of the mix, but I did, as I leaned into Chris, I said, triple threat at Wrestle Dream, and they announced yesterday triple threat at Wrestle Dream between Takeshita, Ricochet, and Ospreay. So another one chalked up and booked correctly on my end.
Which could definitely be match of the night next week.
Yeah, I'm going strictly on a sports entertainment basis for my Mount Rushmore this week, and I'm going with Chelsea Green and Mi Chin from last night in the dumpster match. There's nothing that Chelsea Green doesn't do that's not entertaining.
Yes,
I mean, I thought they went out there. I thought they had a really good match. I thought Piper Niven was excellent. The table bump spot, the power bomb through the table was tremendous. We need to pump the brakes on people on Twitter. It's the greatest table spot ever.
No,
relax. It's not. Calm down.
You haven't been long. You haven't been living long enough.
If you've been watching during the COVID era, that's it.
Yeah,
that's Shaq.
Yeah, and then the video that came out afterwards is just her standing in the shower in the locker room, just looking miserable and everything. Like, it was just fully entertaining. So that would be my 1A. My 1B would be Shelton Benjamin.
Okay.
The pop he got in the interaction with Nana and MVP and being the head of the complaint department for MVP's new syndicate. I'm excited for Shelton. I'm excited to have him get a run where the cuffs are off. Because if you paid attention to Shelton when he was in New Japan before he went back to WWE, that's the Shelton Benjamin I think we're getting in AEW. And that's the Shelton Benjamin, to me, that bell to bell puts him in the stratosphere of an argument for one of the best wrestlers out there.
My only gripe was that you named him the head of the complaint department, which means he's not the number one guy. So you're going to be second to somebody, which is going to be Lashley. So
yeah,
that's the only thing I hate. I want Benjamin to shine.
And I'm interested if anything moves further with the business card handed to Mercedes Moné.
Me too.
So yeah,
we're finally getting into this era where the women are going to be part of these groups instead of just being the valet. And I'm all for that.
Yeah, so those are my 1A and 1B. Outside of the obvious, which was Ricochet and Ospreay, and there were a lot of like bucket list moments checked off as far as wrestlers that I wanted to see live.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't think I would get to see live unless I had to like travel somewhere for a big show. So seeing that and potentially, having it be the last time Danielson was here in town was another reason that could have been on my Mount Rushmore too. But I'll go with entertainment this week instead of in the rings bell to bell wrestling.
I will say to your dumpster match, like you said last week, you said SmackDown was the shits, and as soon as they rolled out that dumpster, I'm like, is this USA TV? Remember Fox, like you could tell the difference between Fox and USA. I'm like, is this going to be a USA type thing, where it's cheesy, more cheesier? But they sold me on that dumpster match.
Yeah, both of those women are extremely underrated in the ring.
Definitely.
And if you watch them in TNA when they were there, they put on bangers in TNA. They work very well together. Having Piper on the outside doing her bit as well just added to it. Like, squeeze. There's our annual AEW our AEW hater of the year. Hey, Wednesday night was a blast down there, so it is what it is. You can come back to the crib around the holiday season because Pittsburgh is getting one of the holiday tour stops for WWE. So that's December 27th. If you're back in the Berg there, Squeeze.
Good to see the WWE house show. There'll be tickets for it.
Yeah, this dude's talking about smelled like AEW. Meanwhile, he smells like Cleveland, living in Ohio now.
Donald, what was yours?
My Mount Rushmore is Wesley and Zach Wentz's street fight. They actually had a great street fight, and the two showed that you could put on a street fight without drawing blood. So, shocker. I mean, it's like a rapper doing a whole album without cussing. It's artistry. So
That
AEW
table
can take-
spot though.
Yeah, that table spot. That when Wentz hit that table and oh man, that
Mhm.
that was
That
nasty.
could have gone so wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but
I hate to give them credit, but yeah, they delivered.
they did. Yeah, they did. Very, very enjoyable street fight that they had.
Do you think that's it? I mean, that's a good way to blow it off, but do you think that's it?
Yeah, no, they're done. They're
Yes.
not going to run that back at all.
Nah, it was a good ending for them. You know, they had their time together and all that stuff. And again, it shows you that best friends in real life have like great street fights between each other. You've seen it with
Very
Sean,
true.
and seen it with Sean and Hunter. Seen it with a couple other people.
Your best friend was there though, man.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our Mount Rushmores. Now we're getting into mushes. Chris, mush of the week.
Continuing on with NXT, the Miz TV segment between Oba and Tony. That was a brutal segment to watch. Like, Tony's usually decent on the mic, but I mean, both of them Tuesday night just completely took all the energy out in that segment. Not saying it took out the energy out of the show, but that segment. Like, you have Miz there who usually can kind of move things along, bring it back, and he couldn't even help that segment.
It like almost like he saw the train wreck and he just like ended it abruptly. He just stepped in and said, "All right, and then the match will be next week." And I was like, "Oh, that's the end of the segment." Like,
I think the crowd might be hurting Oba. Like you can't like when you start when you got to start adding the cadence to them chanting in the background. He's getting better on the mic, but it's like when you got to add that cadence, like the what chant, you got to play that into the factor. It kills stuff sometimes.
I think what hurt them was the story they were trying to tell on the mic.
Yeah, I didn't care.
You're trying to make Tony D sound like a lost babyface.
Yeah,
I'm afraid. I'm scared. I gotta come back. It's like, dude, you've been a darn putting hits on people the entire time in NXT,
And he's afraid now.
And now this is what makes you afraid. Like,
get him off.
ain't no mafioso boss ever going to be afraid of whoever it is. So
he needs
that
battle boss. That's what he needs.
He's featuring Devitt.
And I was telling Jason earlier in the week, if Oba struts one more time in a suit that's not fighting, I'm calling him Ric Flair. It's like I don't need to see that strut when you're going out for an interview. That should only be during fight time.
Because he's not there yet.
shout out Mars. What up, Mars? He's been watching Penguin. I haven't watched Penguin yet, but I plan on it.
I heard the reviews.
Yeah. So,
All right, Jason, mush.
My mush is the barricade spot in WWE. That's like bleeding in AEW. Like, there's a barricade spot every week now. Everyone on Twitter was like, "Put some bolts in that damn thing." I'm over it. Every week, somebody's going through a barricade.
and it's the same spot on the barricade every week.
Yeah.
So you know it's coming, like every single time.
At least this week, Braun and Bronson went through the actual barricade to the fans. That was different.
Not by Samantha. About right there.
Yeah. You can usually do that thing like whenever like you know who's booking a match because they do this. It's like it's almost becoming like that.
And in 2 weeks in a row, somebody picked up a barricade.
I thought they were heavy, like the 2-ton
Supposed to
stacks.
be well. The ones at NXT are all like the ones you put water in. It's like your home food. That's what those are like.
You put the gel stuff in and then add water and it expands out. It's as heavy as sand. Yeah.
Steve,
He said, "Yeah."
I thought they got rid of the LEDs. I was about to be my Mount Rushmore.
bringing LEDs back get you excited about wrestling again? That was your Mount Rushmore for the week.
No, we're taking them away. They were
taking them
on that week. So I was like, okay, we're done with this. Different time. No.
That ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. My mush this week is the main event of NXT.
Yep, that was mine.
Minus Trick winning the title. So you take that out of the equation. I think, Donald, it was all expected to have Trick come back. However, the booking of the main event was god awful. First off, you have CM Punk in there who, because he's in Chicago, it's going to be all about him.
Yes.
So there was probably about 4 or 5 CM Punk chants during the match, and you're chanting for a referee.
Yes.
You're taking away from the
away
guys
from the match,
actually in the ring. You're chanting for a referee. So that's
like them saying that they're not enjoying the match.
Yeah, that was brutal. The other thing that I hated about the way they booked the matches, you had Trick. He took an Ethan's Edge through the announce table on the outside. He took a go to sleep. He took something else, and then he hits one trick shot knee, and Ethan Page can't kick out, and it's over.
If you get that,
if you missed it,
you booked Trick Williams like he was Spike Dudley. He just got tossed around and beat up the entire match, hit one sliced bread, and Spike Dudley wins the match. Like that was the formula on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, and it was terrible. Like, why? And then Punk made it about himself again and hit a go to sleep as the confetti, and they're going off the air on Ethan Page.
Now, if that leads into a storyline, I'm here for it.
But why should
entertaining on the mic? But
why should it? CM Punk's a main roster guy, unless Ethan is moving up.
Yeah, I don't
want to see that. I don't want to see that. Yeah, just like Steve said, anytime any wrestling place come into Chicago now, it is all about CM Punk. All about it. Like I said, it took away from the whole match. And what did Ethan have to do the GTS for in front of Punk? Like they had no beef between each other. It was just a heel just doing the heel thing.
That's his ego. That's his ego.
It's long-term storytelling.
It's just like, come on.
That's his ego getting in the way and showing up Punk.
I
hated the entire booking of that match. The result was expected, but I hated how they got there, especially with what they've done. And I didn't even like really the build up to it because you had Trick go off and have that feud with Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just all of it just seemed like we had to put the title on him because we're on the CW now.
That was it. That's all it was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you have a pay-per-view, 2-3 weeks? So do you get a title change again then?
I let him hold it through that and then take it off him again.
Hey, you got Punk out there like Kendrick Lamar letting people into LA. Thumbs up or thumbs down, who can come into Chicago?
Yeah. But that was my mush also. It was underwhelming. It was really, really underwhelming.
This total finish was sloppy.
A secondary mush for me, the go home show last night on SmackDown. No Cody or Roman, just vignettes and video packages. Like no, I get the bloodline in the triple threat ladder match. That's going to be the main event. I get that, but no nothing. No
tease. Were they in Atlanta last night?
No, they were in Nashville.
Okay.
So short drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it if Roman and Cody are going to be in Atlanta doing press and media, whatever. But it's just extremely odd that you're going to main event your pay-per-view today with Cody and Roman versus Solo and Jacob, and you don't have Cody and Roman on the go-home show the day before the pay-per-view. Like,
part-time champions.
These give us backstage.
They're part-time champions.
Pre-recorded.
Come on now.
Yeah, but I will say Jacob Fatu is definitely star stamped cutting that promo on the walk up. By the time Solo stood in front of him and said whatever he said, I don't even remember what he said, but I just looked at him like, bro,
he said, "I love you, Fatu. I love you, Solo."
Yeah, you're lesser. You don't even matter right now. I'm fixated with the guy behind you because he gave a Ray Lewis pregame speech right there. He had people ready to run through a wall last night.
My man said 3 words. I love you, Solo. And if they don't love you, Solo,
they don't know. Don't know.
He's good, but he need more. They gotta give him some more stuff to say.
And I gotta have like a 1B mush. The learning tree and the conglomeration feud have to be done.
That's a feud now?
That has to end.
I can go.
Because that shit that was on Rampage was a disaster to me. That was awful.
Can it just be regulated to Rampage? This way nobody watches it?
So on Rampage after the Fox deal goes through.
That's what they taped everything out of order for Rampage. And like whenever I said to Steve, I was like, yeah, the main event that we saw was the opening for Rampage. And he was like, well, what's the main event going to be? And we were like, well, conglomeration, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say Rampage, because we watched the matches live there Wednesday night with it being taped. I didn't watch Rampage last night, but I went back and read up on Rampage this morning and watched the add-in stuff with the backstage and the talking segments and everything. It did make it a more complete show. That was more entertaining if I would have watched Rampage last night. Like you're giving me Statlander and Camille with a face-off backstage for a women's house fight. I'll take that any day of the week. Yeah,
that could be a great match.
Yeah, you got Deonna Purrazzo and Taya vignette, giving their stable a little bit more, meaning and depth as to why they're doing it. So like, yeah, they hit good story notes last night on Rampage with the stuff they filled in.
All right, so those were our Mount Rushmores and mushes of the week. So let's get into Bad Blood predictions. Bad Blood is tonight at 6:00. It's earlier because of the USC event, since they're one company now. Can't have one overlap the other.
Trash.
I just find it interesting that WWE was the one that had to bow out and start earlier.
Yeah.
Who makes more money?
WWE?
All right, so let's get on. These are in no particular order, so we will go with.
Wait, I have the potential rundown of the card itself.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be Punk and Drew starting off opening the show in Hell in a Cell, getting that match out the way to start it there.
So great. So we'll start right there. Hell in a Cell, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for like the 175th time this year.
Feud I could care less about anymore.
Punk's winning.
Give me Drew.
Drew has to win.
Yeah.
There's no reason Punk should win. He got his win last month.
Yeah.
You talking about trying to squeeze water out of a rock with this story? It's beyond belief with me.
Like this is the one that you're building towards to get to Hell in a Cell, and I stopped caring about this feud 2 months ago.
CM Punk's winning. It's his week.
No.
His week.
What did you say previously, Donald? Like it's time for Punk to put people over. You know, I think you said that maybe at the last event. It's like, there's no reason Punk should win. The bracelet's gone. All that is just to say that you won the war. And who deserves the win more, Punk or Drew?
I don't want to call him Fragile Phil, but if that guy beats Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match.
Right?
It's not about that. It's about that
Outside-
creative control, brother.
You need the optics, man. Optics have to match up for me.
Like,
Why do you think he was talking to? Why was he talking to Hunter and Shawn at NXT?
I mean, if he wins, I'm not going to be surprised,
Mm.
because of that same reason. But he shouldn't win.
outside of Roman in this Tribal Chief era run that he had, when does a heel win the blow off blood feud match?
Just got to put.
It's always the babyface. So conventional wrestling booking will tell me CM Punk's winning this match.
Again, he won last month. He doesn't need the win.
He'll get the win. Right there, Kakwan said it. All right. Next one.
All this punk talk. Where's my boy Pro? That's my guy, Pro.
WWE Women's Championship champion Nia Jax versus Bayley.
Bailey was about to be my Mount Rushmore from last night.
Yes, sir.
God bless Pam.
Gonna have to go back and check that out.
I don't know if that was Tiffany trying to get heat or if Tiffany just had a true blonde moment and called Bailey Pam live. And I don't.
That's like Jacob Fatu like that. Like, yes, baby.
I think Bailey took some umbrage to having her, government name out there. And that bitch line was like a legitimate stupid bitch. Like, so I got
Good old Bailey came through on that one, huh?
The good old Brock, but she should have punched him in the face. Slow down.
Well, allegedly he's rumored to be in Atlanta and maybe the big guy that's returning that was referenced at the end of Pat McAfee and Cody Rhodes segment from earlier in the week on the Pat McAfee show.
Who, Goldberg?
No, Lesnar.
Okay. I'm about to say Goldberg because Goldberg's from Atlanta also, too.
Yeah, no, Lesnar.
Him and Cody again?
Rock's rumored, too.
Rock's rumor, Brock, Goldberg, Stone
Yeah.
Cold. You know.
Vince is coming back. That's who's coming back.
I did appreciate the Rock out there with a "fuck your main event" tweet with his face.
Final boss.
Yeah. Tremendous stuff there. I'll go with Nia, but I wouldn't be shocked if they pull cash in. I think the cash in is happening sooner than later with Tiffany. They teased it again last night on SmackDown. It's building up to that point.
They're building it up a lot.
Yeah, they're doing the whole Nia talking down to Tiffany, all that to where Tiffany's gonna cash in and be a huge baby face on the back end of it. So is it boiling to that point yet? No, I still think we got a little bit to go, but if they do decide to do a cash in off of Nia win tonight, it wouldn't shock me. But I got Nia.
Same. Nia still has more story to tell, kind of what you were saying there, Steve. I don't know if I see the cash in, but depends what else they have for tonight. They're booking it. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later.
I have Nia, but I don't think she's at that. I don't think Tiffy Time's at that breaking point yet. So we're still working towards it.
Man, I got Nia also. Yeah, still got a lot of story to go. A lot of story. All right, next. We have Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Kind of up in the air on this one, honestly. Should Damian win based on wrestling storytelling? Yes. Goes back to the whole Punk Drew question: who needs to win more? Probably Finn. They keep Judgment Day, live and going. I'll go Priest. Even though I want to see Finn, I'll go Priest.
Steve, your logic there kind of is where I'm going for both matches. I'm having Priest win this one, But the whole Judgment Day situation, I'll continue that in the other match.
Jason?
I'm gonna go with Finn on this one.
I'm with you too. I'll go Finn. He needs to match more. Another loss on Damien doesn't hurt at all. Which will take us into the Women's World Championship. Dom suspended in the above the ring in a shark cage. Champ Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley.
I hate these stipulations. I hate the shark cage thing.
If it wasn't tied, it's gonna come out.
It's Dom. If it wasn't Dom, I'd hate it.
I like how Cole said last night, he's behind bars again.
Should feel like home to him then, right? He'll probably be behind these bars than he was longer than the last time he was in them.
And that's how we know how to get out. I got my way out of prison before. Get my way out here.
Because his skinny ass can fit through the bars.
I got Liv with a returning Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh,
Okay,
I forgot about her. I completely forgot about her.
Okay.
That's how Liv will get over on Rhea this time. And we'll go right into Rhea and Raquel.
I like that.
I'm not upset at that. I also have Liv going, but because the Judgment Day, I mean, I think with Dom being above the ring, I think Finn will help, or some part of Judgment Day will help to help have Liv retain. The one I'm going back and forth on is if Dom's above the ring. I kind of teased this a little bit at SummerSlam predictions. I'm wondering if this is whenever Finn turns on Dom. If he's above the ring, that completes the Finn and Liv story, and then they move forward with it. But definitely Liv to retain.
I was going Rhea with the win, just because I had Priest losing. I'm not having Judgment Day clean out losing the whole match, the whole show. So I'll go Liv or Rhea.
I have Liv retaining. And once Liv retains and Finn retains, the whole story between these two could move on. Because the story's getting stale. To me, it's getting stale. It's been going on for a long time. All right. And we have the main event. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Is this Bloodline Rules?
No, not Bloodline rules.
Not Bloodline rules, so Cody don't win. You know? And that's the only way he beats Samoans.
Hey, you never know. That could get added at the last minute. We've had many main events that, as they're announcing the competitors, this match is now.
Look, if you're putting this on the main event, when you have Punk and Drew in a Hell in a Cell on Bad Blood for the first time in however many years, and they've gone back to tell the 27-year history of Bad Blood coming into this, there's got to be something coming down the pipe more than just the Jimmy Uso return. Like, whether it's The Rock, there has to be something that is going to lead into the next evolution of this story, because Survivor Series is, a month and a half away. So if we're getting the Bloodline versus Bloodline Civil War in the War Games, we got to kick it off tonight.
Yes.
So
it's close. Very close.
Yeah. I don't see Cody and Roman losing, but I don't know how you book this finish, honestly. Because I don't see Solo and Jacob getting a clean win either. Like,
You said I make them look strong.
And you got to make Jacob still look strong.
That's why I keep going back and forth on this one too. It's just like Roman's first match back, and then you also have the Atlanta factor with Cody. But then, like,
the Atlanta factor.
Traditional WWE, if you're in your hometown,
you ain't winning.
Yeah. But then, like, again, Roman's first match back, but to Solo, wins and losses matter, right? So, like,
does Roman keep his word that he gave to Cody that he won't turn and he'll be there? Like, there's
I have him walking out.
You have Cody walking out?
No, Roman walking out.
Walking out on Cody?
Yeah.
Mm.
Then maybe if the final boss comes out, then Roman comes back. If it's a beatdown, but I haven't.
I don't know if I see that, but
I mean, that's the only way I can see Solo in the money.
yeah. The two scenarios I'm back and forth on is: does Rock come out to help Solo and Fatu win, or does Cody and Roman win and then The Rock returns at the end to set up that alliance with Solo? The coin flip for me, I'm giving it to Cody and Roman for the win, but there's so many variables in this match that could change. Or I just even talking like, is there no winner, and that leads to the help to the War Games match.
It leads to a draw. You know,
This
double
is set
shoulders
up.
on them.
This is set up perfectly for the old Triple H takeover ending, where the credits come up.
Yeah.
And now he got his little name and
yeah.
he got Big Wolf in the
executive producers.
Yeah, and for all you people shitting on that from Tuesday night, oh, look at if Tony Khan put his name in it, blah, 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 that would be blah, 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 blah. It's like, yo, they're running a TV show. WWE is running television. Executive producers get acknowledged. And guess what?
They do every show.
His name was thrown out there last night, too. It wasn't just because it was on the CW and it was Paul Levesque and
I was just about to ask, they added to SmackDown?
Yeah, it was added on SmackDown last night.
That's going to be
doing it since SmackDown switched over.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the credits at every TV show. Whatever, man.
Yeah.
People just want to argue for no reason.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah. I'm a toss up with this match on who to win. I just know that Jacob Fatu has to look strong in everything. He can't lose. He can't do it. I mean, I need him to be the strong one. Anybody else is a sideshow. I just need the Wolverine to be strong.
And is Fatu a Roman plant? Like, there's so many toss-ups and so many ways that you can go with it, which is good. But
Yes,
also, I'm worried that it may be completely overbooked.
I expect cinema.
I'll go Cody and Roman just to get a pick in. But I don't feel confident about it.
I got Solo and Fatu.
Solo Fatu.
What's your match of the night?
It should be Hell in a Cell, but I'm going to go the main event.
Priest and Finn.
Give me the Hell in a Cell.
I'll go Hell in a Cell too.
All right.
Can somebody explain to me the stakeout?
Well, I mean, it was with Metro, you know.
I mean, other than that, everybody knows fucking Metro, but
yeah, how many fucking Metros do you know?
Yeah, other than
that was like the greatest thing I've watched all week. Hunter and Cody in a parking lot. Just
I'm still trying to explain or figure out the stakeout, the reason.
Oh, maybe it was to see if The Rock showed up early. I don't know.
That'll be the show to conclusion.
All right, so those were our Bad Blood predictions. Give us a shout and tell us who you think is going to win and your match of the night. So we're going to move into the game. The game is Push, Bury, Release. So I picked the top factions during the Attitude Era from the three companies that were around in. And who are you going to push? Who are you going to bury? Who are you going to release? And I did it at their main top stable people. So Sean, so I got DX with Sean, Hunter, and China, NWO with Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and the triple threat, if you don't know who that is, from ECW with Shane, Chris Candido, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Push, Francine's bury, name there.
Release.
I hated everybody. So let me see. I like the second incarnation.
Bury them all or release them all.
I like the second incarnation of DX when they came back. So push DX. I am burying Triple Threat, and I'm releasing NWO.
WWE Homer.
That Hogan still hurt you.
That hometown flag. I mean, he even said it before his answer. I didn't like this version of DX, but guess what? I'm pushing him to the moon.
The second incarnation of DX when they came back, when they were the goofy DX, that was my DX.
They were goofy just as much.
They were crass in the beginning.
Oh, crass is where you draw the line.
Debaucherous.
You ain't like that.
You sounded like I mean, you sounded like Bret Hart during that time. Got a bunch of
You
degenerates.
sound like Bret Hart during the Vince doc. Just,
That wasn't art.
I was art.
Taquan's doing them in order as you have them. So he's pushing DX. He's burying NWO, releasing Triple Threat. I'm gonna push the Triple Threat. Love that stable. Francine gives you the extra notch above. So I'm pushing the Triple Threat. I'm gonna bury DX and I'm releasing the NWO. And that's with revisionist history because of it being Hogan. Motherfucker showed up at the Morgan Whalen walkout last night in Tampa. It was Morgan Whalen, Baker Mayfield, and then who comes up with the red bandana on? You guessed it, Hulk Hogan, brother.
The man's everywhere.
Why do you think I'm in Florida right now?
Guess who just created
with the red shirt on, man? You go, man. You're not hiding nothing
American
today.
flag on. Too.
Let's walk out right with Hogan.
Jason, I'm going with you. Push DX, bury Triple Threat, release NWO.
And Steve, I'm with you on your side. Triple Threat is getting pushed, burying DX and releasing the NWO.
Wait a minute. Y'all were all for life back in the day. Oh.
ECW was my shit back in the day.
Triple Threat, that stable is criminally underrated.
Yeah.
They don't get it talked about enough. They had everything that you would want in a stable. As far as they were heels. You had Shane Douglas, that was the champ, that could talk and go in the ring. Candido was the best wrestler out of all of them, and you had the Muscle and Bang Bang. Like there was no check mark unchecked in regards to that stable. And then, like I said, then you had Francine that got in there and got her hands dirty as well. So
Rick Rude was DX's, Valley at the time too. Their manager or something. What do you call himself?
Yeah, I forget
something like that. Yeah, the NWO didn't have anybody at that point.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. All right. Anything else? Final thoughts?
Don't go on too early now.
No, because I got final thoughts.
Don't cut the show too early now.
Second time today.
Final thoughts for me, a couple. One, don't ever have a country music star open up SmackDown and address AJ Styles as the phenomenal forearm. Don't ever do that again, WWE. Don't ever do that again. First off, it's a country music star that I have no idea who the hell he is. His name is Hardy.
He played in SummerSlam or something.
Yeah.
His name is Hardy. I still don't know him, even though he played at SummerSlam. His name is Hardy, just Hardy by itself.
I thought it was
I can't rock with you after that. And then you bring AJ Styles back by having him introduce him as the phenomenal forearm.
Yeah.
Get your bum country ass out the ring.
But he's a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
The phenomenal four.
The phenomenal four.
I wasn't that much of the week.
It was up there. Trust me, it was. Mayu Iwatani defeated Tony Storm earlier this morning here in the States to retain her IWGP Women's Championship match. That may be the greatest finisher in pro wrestling right now. She does a poison run off the top rope, and it looks amazing. I sent it over in the group chat. If you guys didn't look at it, catch it. But yeah, that was there. And then let's see. I talked about Meltzer owning 3%. Elimination Chamber 2025 is headed to the UK. Rumored. With Manchester or Birmingham being the lead cities to host it. What else do I have? The other thing, well, two other things. One didn't save, so I can't run off the full list. But October is loaded with pay-per-views starting this month or starting this weekend all the way through. Like it's nonstop. By all companies.
There's a bunch, not next weekend, but 2 weeks from now. There's a bunch that weekend.
And then the last two things for me, one's wrestling, one's outside of wrestling. The wrestling one, Kenny Omega back over in Japan and said that he wants to wrestle the Young Bucks at Wrestle Dynasty in the Tokyo Dome with Tanahashi as his tag team partner.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
And then lastly, outside of wrestling, did you see James Harrison and Chad Ochocinco ink the MMA fight before the Super Bowl?
Yes. Why?
I need Harrison to suit back up. Stop doing that shit. Suit back up.
I didn't hear a dollar amount. Was there any dollar amount released?
There wasn't a dollar amount released. They both made the announcement. At first, I thought Ochocinco was just being Ochocinco on Twitter. And then Harrison chimed in with the tweet confirming it, and then it was officially announced. So yeah, I don't know what. Listen, you can't pay me enough money to get into an octagon with James Harrison.
No. That's like getting in the boxing ring with Mike Tyson. Like, no matter what.
This is one I'm interested in seeing. Like all the other celebrity shit where you get a boxer versus a football player versus MMA. These two are hated rivals. So a rivalry I've been watching all my life. I want to see it play out in the ring.
Y'all watch it, but I need Pat commentating it, and
Pat will put that over tremendously.
Can we get Pat and Morrow to call it?
Yeah, I need Brett Kiesel and Roethlisberger to walk Harrison out waving terrible towels. Like I need this to be just the whole Cincinnati,
the whole rivalry again.
Yeah, get Vontaze Burfict to walk out Chad Ochocinco. Like I need
DJ Houshmandzadeh.
I need the whole
sports entertainment and with football.
Yeah, I need it all. I need it all brought in.
And also, speaking of sports, rest in peace to a lot of celebrities this week. Man,
it was a rough week out there for
Pete Rose. Just a lot of
Ramos. Like there was a lot of people this week, man. Yeah, it was a rough week. I felt like all I did, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday was send over updates for people that passed in the group chat. Like I didn't want to leave the house the rest of the week because the way Death's Door was knocking this week. So yeah, so shout out to all those legends.
I didn't think about that. Do I really want to get on that plane yesterday? Yeah. Donald, I mean, for as big of a baseball fan as you are, Pete Rose past few years had brought up a good point with baseball, introducing betting into the sport. Now that he's gone on,
he'll never get in.
See it happening.
No.
It'll never happen. I have so many issues with the Baseball Hall of Fame. It is unbelievable. Out of all the Hall of Fames, I think that one's the most corrupt.
I don't think it's going to happen with this current commissioner, doing anything, but
no, there's too many. There's still too many traditional lists and all that stuff. That's a whole podcast by itself. I give you live wire.
Yeah, if he would have just gambled on baseball, I think maybe he'll go in posthumously and put in after his death. But not only did he gamble on baseball, but he gambled on his team.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was. His team
And I think
that he was
that's-
managing at the time.
Yeah, that's what will keep him from going in regardless.
Because he could affect the outcome.
Mm.
Like they said, writers aren't the ones not putting him in. He's banned from baseball, so baseball has to lift the ban before he can even be put in.
Oh yeah, that's a great callback, Tackwater.
Mm-hmm. But alrighty then. Well, thank you guys for tuning into us. That was episode 208 of the Dumb Marks podcast, Bad Blood. Follow us on all of our socials at Dumb Marks Pod. Also go to Pro Wrestling Tees at Dumb Marks Pod and buy some merch. And Spotify. Almost forgot that. Sorry about that. Spotify. Make sure you
You're
like
just killing
us.
bugs over there during this segment.
That should be Chris down there. He ain't sprayed nothing yet. Ain't swatted nothing.
Oh no, I'm in the sunroom.
Ain't even outside.
The lanai, yeah.
Luxury.
We
And
gotta just got mana coursing through his veins over there. Talking about Lanaz and everything else.
and our quote of the week for all the crazy stuff that people were saying this week on every spectrum from sports to politics to entertainment. The quote is, thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. And for that, tune into us next week at 11 o'clock when Jason is our host.
I'm off next week.
Until then, guys.